Hey, you are watching Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm Elisa. And okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands and we have the Knight of Swords. So this is a message of truth or clarity coming in fast. And this is like your ship's coming in. They're kind of off in the distance, but like something's being manifested. When I pull this down, oh, we have Judgment. So there's a reckoning. Oh my gosh. We have the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Fool. So it's like there's a reckoning, a judgment that's maybe holding this back from happening for someone. Because underneath that we have conflict and we have the Sun. So like someone actually has a bunch of good karma coming to them, but there seems to be some conflict and this judgment call that needs to be made, and that might actually be what's blocking all this good karma from coming in. But it's like a flood. This person has a flood of good karma. Like there's the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, and the Sun card. I mean, it's like it doesn't really get any better than that. It's like this person has really good karma. But then we have this message of truth or clarity coming in. We have the Three of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and we have victory and death. So there's a transformation happening. Somebody's coming out victorious. Somebody's gonna is really like stressed out about this. But things are moving forward, and there's like a community that's supporting this movement. So I'm guessing that this community is going around this person who has all the good karma coming to them. But part of what's blocking it is that the reckoning or the judgment that's coming, it looks like it's really severe. And that's why there's conflict around it. And that's why it's been like, it's kind of like a hard one battle. And yeah, it's just like, I mean, there's been a lot of messages about this. And yeah, like one thing that is like really current right now is there's this thing with the Azovstal steel plant, and like there's all these prisoners of war. There's a bunch of them. Like they finally have surrendered, but they've been standing their ground in like impossible conditions forever. And so, you know, it's like this might sort of trigger the beginning of like a negotiating period, because like now, because like Russia was just like losing, and now they sort of have like a bartering chip. And it's like horrible that it gets boiled down to this, but that's kind of what they're saying in the news. So it's like now they have a bartering chip to like go to the negotiation tables with, because it's like unfortunate that they're like using all these human lives. But perhaps this means, you know, the beginning of the end. So that's a good thing, but yeah, hopefully like nothing bad happens to these, because there is some like fear and anxiety along with this, because everyone doesn't really know what's going to happen to them. But you know, hopefully for the best. Like this means that maybe things will get settled and we can move forward, you know. But when I go to the mystical shaman, we got Arrow and we got Time Master. So this speaks to like karmic cycles and repeating patterns and like coming to an end and sort of like graduating from that and like moving on. And then we have the Arrow, which is sort of like when you're in alignment with the highest good and with the universe. When you release your arrow into the universe, it's going to hit its mark. There's like ancestors presiding over this situation. We have Pachamama, like Mother Earth, Gaia. And we have like the Child, which is sort of like a card of redemption. And we have the Drum. So this is going to happen in divine timing, you know. whatever this change is. But it's almost like the underdog. This makes me think of like David and Goliath when you have the arrow, because it's just sort of like, it's one of those sort of like impossible situations, but because you have the guidance of the universe, like the arrow is going to hit the mark. So it's like there's implicit in this story, like overcoming this impossible circumstance. So I hope that's a good thing for Ukraine. But like there is like a karmic circumstance, a repeating cycle that is being broken, and we're like kind of graduating. We have karma underneath this, graduating from this pattern. Lots and lots of emotions are being released. So, oh my gosh, it's like yeah, it looks kind of like the beginning of the end, but there's going to be like a harsh negotiation perhaps that's like involved in getting to the other side of this. But there is some, karma, like really good karma coming to this one person who has like the 10 of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands. I mean, here's the 6 of Wands again. Like this one person had 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and the Sun, like it was really, really good karma. But it's going to perhaps mean a loss for somebody else. So, okay. Wow. So again, so we have this star. When you wish upon a star, that's a reading. This reminds me of Cinderella, because that song is from Cinderella. And that's a thread that's been coming up lately, and it's just like this person who's overcome all of this abuse and this generational curse in her family, but she overcomes it, and she transcends herself to be like, a ruler of the kingdom, by having this pure good heart. And in a way, that's kind of like the story of Ukraine, because it's just sort of like nobody really thought that they were going to withstand everything that they have, and now they've become this darling of the whole world. Like, it doesn't matter like what political persuasion, I think everyone in the world, like everything's been divided in the media, right and left, and like in this weird way, like Ukraine has inspired the whole world, by their resilience and their like strength, and that's kind of like Cinderella, it's like she rose above these abusive circumstances, and then, she was rewarded by karma. I don't know where that's all coming from, but that just came through. So, but we had 6 of Wands, so victory, accolades. This person has kind of got the lights shown on them. It's like they're giving a performance. We have the Knight of Wands. So this is a bold move. This person is free. They're expressing themselves. They're just like, they're going for it. We have death and rebirth. We have the 9 of Cups. And we have the King of Wands. This is a totally empowered person who's like a manifester, who's like in command of their emotion. Look, there's this lion. This person is powerful. It's almost like this story of like this rise to power. Like it's almost like a shakeup of the prevailing power structure, where this underdog rises above to become the ruler of the kingdom, like, I don't know, like maybe there is something empowering that's going to happen, like, I mean, with Ukraine, I mean, it's like interesting because it's like right now it doesn't really look super positive with the Azovstal thing, but like, maybe it's a good sign, because, like Russia wasn't going to give up before because it was this humiliating loss. And now they have their one win, where it's like, okay, like now we'll come to the table, because it's not like a humiliating loss for them, yeah, I don't know where all this is coming from. It's a lot, but like, it does sort of look like it's time to come to the negotiating table, and we're starting to like put together a deal for how we're gonna like move forward, because there's been all this conflict and all this like resistance of, you know, the truth, and like not, you know, this stuck, you know, but we're like actually like, it's like people are ready to move forward, because it's like the whole world economy is suspended, and like everybody's like on pins and needles, and like everybody is just ready to move forward, and like all these people have died, and like it kind of feels like we're like going into the tunnel, and we're going to come out the other side, and we're going to be like transformed, but we're just at the beginning, you know. So at the bottom we have trust the process. It's going to be a process, like it's not like an overnight like fix. There's this patience. But yeah, look, this person is walking through this tunnel, you know, they're wishing upon a star. This is totally like a Cinderella story. And we have self-love, overcoming fear and cycles of abuse by having love for yourself, healing your energy and your vibration to resonate with a different experience. I mean, that's what this card is about. So this is like a total rise up story of empowerment, and it's a story of like being pure of heart, and it's an unusual story because it's like that's not usually a quality that is selected for in these sort of empowered kind of situation dynamics, but that's what's happening here. So it's an inspiring story, and I think this is a time in the world where people need inspiring stories, and that's kind of what this is. So it's the beginning of the end. We're going through the tunnel, and we're going to come out on the other side, and it's going to be a whole new world. So that's where we are. I'll be back soon, like from the middle of the tunnel, I guess.